Hello, and welcome to yet another Total War Warhammer battle. This is another quick battle that I played, and I was just experimenting with some builds that you don't really see that often. So I was just noticing in campaign with the dwarves that the orcs have some very capable skirmishers, and so what I decided to do is build a very skirmish heavy faction, skirmish heavy build rather. Now, most of the orc armies are rush builds, but the orcs have quite a few skirmishers. So here I have savage orc Arab boys in the front, and I have a lot of them. They're capable skirmishers, but also capable in melee. Behind them I have some very cheap orc boys, and in the back I have some hard-hitting savage orc boy biggins. Just because skirmish builds need some cavalry to support them. Then I have some goblin wolf riders, very cheap but also very fast, and don't do much missile damage. And then just because for the heck of it, I put my leader on a giant wolf, and because he's vanguard deployment, I put him behind a hill. Over on this side, I have some very cool looking spider riders. These are the force goblins, and they tame these spiders. They're also related to the Arachnarok spider, which is a giant beast. Anyway, the Empire brought a build that actually kind of plays into my hands. A bunch of spearmen, some halberdiers, a few swordsmen, and some great swords in the back, as well as some mortars. This is an Empire build you'll see a lot, and Carl Franz on Deathclaw, because it's very good. The Witch Hunter here gets off of Q's, which takes down your lord, and just some cheap infantry. And of course, the Demigryph Knights with halberds are a necessity for this Empire build. I just discovered them there, just doing some scouting. Now, if you'll notice, my spider riders have a speed of 78, and these guys have a speed. Should have an 80. I don't know why it says 61 right now. Anyway, the mortar is going off. Turn them around. My wolf riders in the back are still hidden. Yeah, these demigryphs look so good. Anyway, just doing some skirmishing, trying to get out of the range of these mortars, rather. Trying to get out of the range of these mortars. Just sit in the back here, knowing this artillery can't do any damage to me. I'll let them come to me while I skirmish, use all my skirmishing capabilities with my Wolf Rider archers. Unfortunately, these demigryphs have an insane amount of armor. 130 armor. If they're going to do anything to nerf demigryphs, they should take down the armor, because it's ridiculous. My wolf riders, as you'll see, do just basically poke them with their tiny needles against these demigryphs, which is kind of stupid. The only way to take demigryphs down is with gunpowder, and even then they're not very good. So the Empire is advancing. I aim to take out these mortars, because he doesn't even know that these guys are here yet. I think they get discovered right now. But these demigryphs have a speed of 80, and my guys have a speed of 94. Yeah, no one really plays with the goblins as the orcs, mostly because they see them as underpowered, but it's more fun to play with them. And I get a nice charge off into these mortars. They have 1 kill, so this is very good to take them out, and they cost a lot. They cost a lot more than any of my units. So, very nice to be taking them out. He realizes that they're here only right now, and then I with my wizard, I do Night Shroud, which... Oh, that's what it was. Dang it. I meant to... There's another spell that gives him minus speed. That's why... Oh well. I popped the wrong spell. But I was planning to give them less speed so they couldn't catch up to my dudes and I'd have enough time to take out the mortars. But I had to retreat because they weren't slower. I'm also getting some nice shots on Karl Franz. But once again, Karl Franz has 100 armor, which is kind of stupid. If I'm shooting at it in the air, these arrows should be able to mess up with its wings, but it doesn't. There, that's the one I get. No, I said have minus speed. Whatever. See, as you can see, I'm getting some nice shots in here, but doing almost no damage. I mean, they do cost little. My goblin wolf riders do cost very little, but doing so little damage. So he's slowly advancing. Rather, he's running. He has no artillery left. This has regrouped, but it's not very effective right now. Get some flank shots in. Try to limit their melee capabilities. I probably should have been targeting the greatswords because I could have targeted anywhere, because they have no shields and they're much better at fighting. So he's charging. They should be tired by this point, but whatever. In the back, I'm still just juking these demigryphs so hard. Running away, shooting at them. I get caught here, unfortunately. It's mostly because I'm paying attention to here now. Getting my wizard moving around. Swordsmen are just... That guy has 2 arrows in his shield. Just falling down. Now I have to be very careful of this witch hunter. He has a Q's, which basically does a bunch of damage to my lord. It's a spell that... Or it's not a spell, it's an ability that just targets enemy lords. Anyway, tearing apart this spearman with missile fire, sending in the orc boys. Really should have been targeting these greatswords back here. But now the savage orc boy biggins can go around and flank. Wow, I do the wrong spell again. Jeez. I really thought it was that spell. Oh well. I meant to do minus speed. Taking out the artillery here. Sacrificing it. Just getting the demigryphs distracted, getting Karl Franz distracted. It's worth it because now I have complete reign over this battlefield. And here the Q's goes off. And you can see how much damage that does to me. I'm trying to attack the witch hunter, but my lord just took... That is just insane amounts of damage right there. Kind of ridiculous. I should have not engaged that. I should have helped my men here. I get a brutal charge with Savage Orc Boy Biggins into the backs of these dudes. But, of course, these demigryphs with halberds are very good against large, and will soon start taking down my Savage Orcs. I also get a charge here into the back of greatswords, which is very important, because they were wrecking my Orc Boys. That flattens the entire unit. Get some more charges off. Karl Franz is back because he's super fast. But now I've cleaned up the rest of these guys, and now I can start bringing my force Spider Riders. Halberdiers getting destroyed. More spearmen in here. Very cheap, but so are my orc boys. Oh my god. That is absolutely brutal charge. Yeah, my Savage Orc boys got demolished by these Demigryph Knights. So I'm having some trouble. My skirmishers are... My skirmish cavalry, or spiders, or wolves, whatever, was doing okay, but These guys are not going to fare well against Demigryphs and Karl Franz. But my Orc boys are doing fine against his normal swords. But I've got a problem here. Demigryph Knights with halberds. I can't engage them with cav because I die. And can't engage them with infantry because I die as well. Trying to take out his Demigryphs with my archers. Also trying to take down Karl Franz. But there's so much armor on these guys. I think arrows should do more damage to flying units because I'm pouring in fire from 5 missile units and he's taking a tiny bits of damage. Well, my first Goblin Spider Riders are back. Savage Orcs getting some charges in. Trying to shoot this Witch Hunter. But yeah, look at all this fire pouring on Karl Franz. Look at how many arrows he has in him. Look at how many arrows are around him that have just bounced off of his armor. Like, this is ridiculous. He's on a griffin. Those wings should be very damaged. Anyway, I've got Demigryph Knights just wrecking my men, pouring fire from everything I can, but they have so much armor it's almost impossible to take down. Anyway, these greatswords are getting targeted by my forced Spider Riders. And because they have no shields, they're going to take some considerable damage. So my troops have routed a lot, but they're coming back because that's what the orcs do. They always come back from fighting. But these Demigryphs just chasing down my men. Even though they take out their axes, they're nothing against these monstrous cavalry. So many shots off on Karl Franz, but he has so much armor. Boom! An arrow right in his chest plate right there. Trying to take down the Witch Hunter, but he's a pretty good fighter. Not that great, but he's okay. I've cleaned up his back lines, and it's really a matter of taking down his Demigryphs and Karl Franz, and also his Witch Hunter. Just taking these greatswords out. Trying to pick apart these Demigryphs, but they're just chasing down all of my archers, which I desperately need to fight Karl Franz. Karl Franz just can swoop down on any archer he pleases and just instantly destroy it. My Spider Riders are running out of ammo. Yeah, you can see here, this one ran out of ammo. And fortunately, because my Lord died, and because I have very poor morale, some of my units are shaken and completely shattered. These Demigryphs up to 178 kills, just wrecking everything I have. The only really good units I have left are these Savage Orc Boar Biggins. They are the only units that can tie down his Demigryphs or Karl Franz. But the problem is that these Demigryphs are anti-large, which means they can just rip apart my Savage Orc Boars. And then Billengage, or whatever his name is, tries to pour in everything. So I pour in everything because all of my guys are out of ammunition anyway. And I try to tie down Karl Franz as much as I can and shoot with everything I can that still has ammunition. Come into the back with his great swords to make sure they rout, and get this Witch Hunter routed as well. And these Demigryphs are starting to go down. Only 10 guys left. It started with 18. Karl Franz is still at half health, which is a big problem for me. Still shooting him though. And then I was so happy when these Demigryphs routed. It was such a relief. Even though they had 10 left, they routed. So now it is literally just taking down Karl Franz. Can I do it? He can take down all of my archers, which is a big problem. So what I need to do is I need to tie it down with my Orc Boar Boy Biggins. What's kind of frustrating here is these Demigryphs are routing, but they're taking down my Goblin Wolf Riders. I don't know why. I'm trying to make sure they don't come back. And I should have been chasing down this Witch Hunter as well. Trying to fire at Carl Franz. Nice. Some nice hits there. But Carl Franz' Deathclaw are just a beast. Literally 72 kills, wavering my entire army. Some more of my people come back. The swelling music. I'm hoping I can get this out, but for some reason the balance bar says it's not in my favor. And then the witch hunter comes back. I so should have killed it while I had the chance. These guys weren't doing anything. Even the great swords come back. So I need to kill Carl Franz as quick as I can to make those guys rout again. So I charge in my Savage Orc Boar Biggins. I do some nice damage on the charge and pour in everything. But these guys are so weak, they just rout immediately. Send in everything. These guys have a lot of mass, so they should be able to hold up Carl Franz really well. And I just started doing so much damage, and I'm extremely helpful. But Carl Franz Deathclaw gives me terror, and all my units start routing, and I'm suddenly worried. But he's almost dead. I pour in as much fire as I can, even though some of it is friendly fire. But then, for some reason, Carl Franz gets to run away. And I was like, no, catch him before he gets up. But he flies away. And that was really disappointing. Wow, he did -8 leadership. That was probably a good choice. And now he just starts taking out my archers again. These Savage Orcs cannot hold up to this Deathclaw. So if I kill Carl Franz, these guys will definitely rout again. And he only has 639 hit points. But I have very shaky morale. Basically all I have to take him out is these 29 orc boys. And he turns around, gets a charge off, and it's just a battle. I have 5 leadership, and then I rout. And that is the end. Carl Franz only had 511 hit points. It's basically over. So very, very close. Basically 400 hit points away from me winning. And I had some good plays in the beginning, but I had nothing really to counter those demigryphs. So good game to Blin Jeej, and I'll see you next time.